Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Rubab Zahra, lecturer in English at Kausar College for Women, age 18 Islamabad. In this video, which is basically a little bit difficult for the students because the topic here today is direct and indirect speech. That is what you also call narration. So first of all, my dear students, you must know the difference between a direct speech and an indirect speech. Now direct speech is actually the actual words of a speaker. Like for example, where were you? Question mark, said my father. Now it's a direct speech because it basically represents you, the dialogue of a speaker. Now when you express these words directly spoken by a character or a subject, that is father, in an indirect way, then this is what you call indirect speech. That is the words of a speaker indirectly conveyed. Now remember, like for example, my father asked where I had been. Now this is an indirect speech. Yes, remember one thing, and that thing is that it is, or any sentence of direct speech is divided into two types, or you may say two parts. Yes, two parts, not two types. Parts, reported speech, where were you? Reported means that has been reported. And the particular words outside the inverted commas, like said my father, or the teacher said, or she said, etc., will be called as reporting speech. Okay, now this is very important and it can be explained through another example. That is the second example. She said to me, comma, this is what you call reporting speech. Now inside inverted commas will be reported speech. And this is, I'm doing my work now. Now the conversion of this direct speech into an indirect speech will be, she, instead of said to, there will be told. She told me, instead of these commas, that will be used. So it will be converted into told, commas will be removed and that will be used. Instead of I, indirectly she will be used. Then every present will be changed into past. Like that she was doing her work. As it is she, obviously the next one will be her. She was doing her work and now will be changed into then. T-H-E-N, then. Next, my dear audience, we have rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. But remember, these are the general rules, as the rules are also changed according to the types. So that's why they will be the generalized rules that are otherwise governed in most of the types of direct speech. Like first one is, use of that before indirect speech is a must. Use of that. Now second one, which could be the first one also, that is the removal of commas, both inverted and single comma. Okay, remember, inverted commas and single comma will be removed in indirect speech. Third one is, present tense will be changed into past tense. Every sort of present tense will be changed into past tense. Like be it present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, or present perfect continuous tense. Each one of them will be converted into past indefinite and so on. Okay, next we have past tense. If we have past tense in direct speech, then it will be converted into past perfect tense. Remember the rules and then you will be easier or feeling comfortable to convert direct speech into indirect speech. Okay, fifth one is, universal truth will remain unchanged. For example, if I say honesty is the best policy, if I say the earth revolves around the sun, so these are the universal truths, they will never be changed, never. Okay, next one is pronoun change. So remember that there is a pronoun change that has to take place in indirect speech. Like for example, I will be converted into me, he will be you can write it into him, she into her, they into them, we into us, and you into you. Another important rule is, that is the rule number 7. Pronouns of reported speech are changed according to reporting speech. So remember that pronouns of reported speech are changed according to the pronouns that are given in the reporting section. Okay, if the reporting speech, there is a note, or you must remember another thing, and that's it. If the reporting speech is in past tense, then these are the rules that are to be observed. That there are some other rules, some other changes that we will discuss on the next slide, but all these rules will only be observed if the reporting speech is in past tense. Remember this thing. If the reporting speech is in past tense, then all these changes will take place. But if it is in present tense, as if the reporting speech is in present tense, remember present tense, no change of tense will be done. Only and only pronoun change will take place. Okay, last but not the least, we have some other changes which are as follows. Like now will be converted into then, ago into before, here into there, this into that, thus into so, it into that, these into those, shall into should, will into would. And sometimes if the subject is like I or we can also go for here. We can also go for should. And then were, the most frequently used one, will be changed into had been. Then comes the timings. Changes relevant to time. And you could give it the next number. That is rule number 9. Today into that day. Tomorrow into the next day or the following day. Yesterday into the last day or the previous day. Last night into the night before. And tonight into that night. So all these rules must be practiced, memorized, and rehearsed again and again in order to comprehend and even master the art of changing direct speech into indirect speech. This is it for today. In the next video, we are going to discuss types of direct speech. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.